there are some 36,000 children in this country that are free and available and waiting for adoptions. They're being warehoused in foster homes, in institutions, and in hospitals. But nobody wants those children because they're the wrong race, they're the wrong age.
Wait a second. Don't they want the children because a lot of times the fact that they have to go through so much red tape with the bureaucracy set up? No, that's wrong.
Not to get the children that are already free and available.
Crap, all right, because I've been trying to adopt for 4 years. 4 years. And I've gone to all the agencies. I don't care how old the child is.
Have you gone to agencies that deal specifically with hard-to-place children?
Everywhere. And you know what they tell me? I'm too old. Do I look too old for you?
Hard-to-place child? I find that hard to believe, Mort. I can't believe that.
You can find it hard to believe all the hell you want. I've tried.
There are books. Right. There's a blue book in New York that's this thick. It's thicker than the New York telephone directory. Healthy white newborns are scarce. They're scarce, and that's what everybody wants. That's what there's a long waiting list for. There's not a long waiting list for black children, for interracial children, for handicapped children, and for older childlen. When I
offered to take handicapped children.
You did?
Too. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to know what agency turned you down. Because
I'll let you know all of them after the show.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll give you a list of agencies that you could probably call tomorrow and get a child.
We didn't care if they were handicapped children or anything else.
Well, I can give you a list of agencies after the show that you can call up and get a child tomorrow.
Good.
Because there are children waiting for homes.
Good. Good. I got some more questions I want to ask you. How about the fact that, where's Artie? Is Artie here? Artie, let me ask you a question. You started a very successful organization called the Golden Cradle, with which I'm very familiar. All right? And you help birth mothers. Are you in this to keep kids away from the abortionist knife, or are you in it just to make a buck for yourself?
Well, first of all...
Is there something wrong, Marcia, with people looking for white, healthy infants?
Only in terms of the fact that they don't exist in the quantity that people want them. And they're not willing to take, quote, second best. What they try and do instead...
What is second best?
Second best to them would be, as Artie just said, a Down syndrome child. He considered that, in his personal opinion, I'm not making a value judgment. He considered that child second best for his particular choice. People consider interracial children second best in their particular preference. As I told you,
my wife and I have looked in all areas and all corners. I even contacted Artie's group about 3 years ago, Artie. All right, I didn't have any success. We didn't care if it was an interracial child. We didn't care if the child was permanently handicapped. I'm not talking Down syndrome, right, because it would have been my wife's first child. So I wasn't talking about Down syndrome. But it didn't have to be a healthy white child, and we still had a difficult time. And
I was adopted in 1939. I was sold in the black market for $5,000. Sold.
You were sold in the black market?
I was sold, yes, by a social worker.
By a social worker?
By a social worker. She sold
How much
babies.
She get for you?
$5,000.
What a bum deal.
Could have been more.
Okay. She sold you for $5,000. Then what?
Right. She sold babies for 20 years in New York.
How many babies did she sell?
Hundreds. She was arrested and tried a year-long trial in 1949. And she was
time in jail?
No, $1,000 fine.
$1,000 fine. Well, now let's think about this. Would the babies have been languishing in some... Did you have good parents who brought you up?
Absolutely.
Did you love them?
Absolutely. Still do.
They help you?
They help me.
Help you a lot. So let's assume that hundreds of babies were helped that otherwise would have been in lying in hospital in those days or some of these other areas and never been adopted.
Someone could also have helped my birth mother keep me.
Yes?
Given her the choice, given her support.
The people who respond to the newspaper ads are well aware of what they're doing. They've had a situation which has been going on for a number of months. Most of the people who respond to the newspaper ads are well into their second half of the pregnancy. They are aware of their situation. They know what they want. They want what's best for their child.
Who has made someone aware who answers an ad in the paper?
They'd be in the abortion clinic.
Well, that I object to also. Several times you have made the comment that Joe and other adoptees, if they didn't find these loving homes, they'd be aborted. And I strongly object to that.
No, not Joe. It wasn't legal in his day. You strongly object to me saying it?
Yes.
That's tough.
Well,
at least I'll give you credit. At least At least you're
it may have
entitled
been
to credit.
illegal in Joe's day, but let me tell you something.
The
I could have had,
hangers and all the bad stuff.
I could have had an
Baloney.
abortion.
Baloney. Don't feed me that pro-choice crap. That's all it is. You want the right to control your own body, right? Because you're a woman, so I control my own body. Remember,
I am not telling
ladies,
you. No, that's not what I'm
50%
saying.
of those bodies come out with testicles. Have you got those too?